What up, fellas? Paulie down in the building. What's happening? If you're wondering why I'm called Paulie down, it's because I'm down to earth for whatever. Fellas, today I would like to discuss with you a simple topic. Nowadays, we just imagine what would the life be if we had $1 million, right? And my question is like, how do these actually millionaires look like? Like, are they just like all driving in the Lambos, like in BMWs, Mercedes? Are they just like all having these giant villas and just enjoying the luxurious lifestyle? That's the question that I'm asking. And I got the answer for you, fellas. In reality, it's actually not like that. Not at all. If you look at the most millionaires, I'm not talking maybe about the top 0.0001%. I'm not talking about those. Like, the people that are having like hundreds of millions of dollars, they're totally in a different category. We are not going to be discussing those. Today we would like to just look at some humble millionaires. Like maybe he has a $1 million or $2 million in his bank account. Just a humble person in general. Got it? Most of those people are actually very frugal. And I would like to elaborate on why it is the way it is. Nowadays, most of the people that do not actually have a lot of money, they just think that if I just had like more money, I would just buy this car, I would just buy this house, I would just buy these liabilities and these depreciating assets. And in reality, you can of course buy them, but the main reason why most of the millionaires are in the position that they are is actually because they were not buying them in the first place. They were of course receiving the money from their job or their business, and they were using actually this money as a capital, so they are putting it into appreciating assets, for example low-cost ETFs like FTSE All World or S&P 500, or nowadays also some people are considering also of course crypto. But do your own research and be really careful. Not a financial advice of course, but maybe if you are considering crypto, just think about like 10 to 15% of your portfolio. Just don't go a little bit riskier than that. Like 10 to 15% I think it's good enough, and your portfolio would be flourishing as well. But just be aware of very versatile markets. Most of the millionaires nowadays are very frugal. So it means that they are saving actually a lot of their income. They are lowering their expenses. It doesn't even mean that they need to have like the highest income possible. Like everybody just thinks that if you're to be a millionaire, you need to be earning, I don't know, $150,000 per year. But that is actually not the reality. In reality, you can actually be a millionaire just by having, I don't know, $30,000 yearly. And okay, baby. Just whatever. I will cut it anyway. But nowadays you can become also a millionaire if you're going to be just earning, I don't know, $30,000. Of course, if you're going to be earning more and you're going to be saving more, and you can be then putting this money into some compounding asset, it's going to be getting you to the destination faster. That is just a fact. We are not gonna lie about it. But still, if you compare with yourself with a person that is earning, for example, $60,000 per year and $30,000 per year, and both of you are able to save $20,000 and $20,000, then you are basically on the same track. Like, of course, he's having at the moment higher expenses because maybe he's paying for a more expensive cars, or he's paying for a more expensive apartment because he is living in a different area. I understand that, but actually you are putting yourself in the same, you are in the same track. So it depends how much you are able to save, and that's what the most millionaires are doing. They are actually saving their money. They are driving some cheap cars, some Toyota Corolla, just my suggestion. Toyota, a really good brand. Not sponsored, and if I was buying a car, I would definitely buy a Toyota. Not a sponsor video whatsoever. Even a lot of millionaires are nowadays just like buying clothes from like H&M, and they don't even need these like really high expensive brands for clothing. One example is Graham Stephan, a really good creator of course, and I was just watching one of his videos like recently, just out of curiosity, and he mentioned that actually he just buys most of his clothing from H&M. And I am actually doing the same because I never really understood like what is this purpose of buying so expensive clothing. Of course, once in a while I might buy some shirt that I really like, if I really like it, and I consider it to be a good deal. But in general, I am also buying most of my clothing from H&M. People don't really recognize if you have the t-shirt from H&M for $5, or you have it from, I don't know, Ralph Lauren, or what are these brands, Gucci, for $500. Like, no one really cares, and no one really gonna question you anyway. And the quality is just so similar nowadays that there is just no point in buying a really expensive clothing. So as I was mentioning, most millionaires frugal, driving Corolla, buying relatively cheap clothing, saving money, trying to increase their income of course, but also reducing their costs, and then investing the money and using it as a capital into low-cost index funds like FTSE All World or S&P 500. One thing about reducing costs. Nowadays a lot of people are also taking this little bit into the extreme opposite in my opinion. Like, of course, if you want to save money, we got it, and you are following the Reddit FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early, we got it, you want to save as much money and to use this money for compounding. But just be aware that you also need to enjoy your journey in the first place. Let's say that you are living a life where you are earning the money, but you are eating rice and beans all the time. That is working short term if you are having a lot of debt. That is totally a different situation. But if you are just trying to like build some wealth, then of course it is nice to be considering that you want to save as much as possible, but enjoy your life up to the certain extent as well. Let's say that you are 20 and you are working full time and you want to of course travel a lot. In that case, I think the best way is to just basically make a balance between things. If you want to travel, you would travel a bit up to a certain extent, but you would not going on a crazy trips that are going to be hella expensive, let's say like Japan or Thailand. But you could be just going locally, exploring the local states, or you could be traveling locally in Europe. That might be also a possibility, and a lot of people are just like not really aware of that, or they are just like not welcoming the idea that you can actually explore a lot just locally within like few hundred kilometers. And that is, I think is a little bit sad, because there is so much beauty around us and we don't really appreciate it in the first place. Plus, to sum up the thing, most millionaires around us, they are relatively humble people, frugal, saving money, investing into local ETFs, buying second-hand cars, overall being very smart and financially educated, I would just say. And a lot of people nowadays also think that in order to become a millionaire, you just need to create the next Facebook, you just need to create this business that is going to be earning a lot of money. And nowadays, I think that is frankly not the truth. Of course, it is very nice to have your own business that is flourishing, but a lot of people just have this false idea that you just start a startup and you just quit your job right away, and you're going to be earning a lot of money just like that. Like put 1-2 years and you're earning the money right away. But in reality, that's not how you are supposed to be building a side hustle. The side hustle is supposed to be built in a way that you have your full-time job, and in the evenings you're gonna be investing your time and building your side hustle in your free time. And that's how majority of the people are actually building their side hustle, is that after you are done with your full-time job, you're going to be then investing your time into these side hustles, and not in a way that you just have saved $500 and you're starting like going all in on this startup idea right away. That's at least in my opinion, and what I can see from a lot of people from around my area. Even in my brother, he has a business, relatively successful business. Even one of my best friends, he has a relatively successful business, and one of them was studying and doing his side hustle during his study, and the other one was working, and in his free time he was working on his side hustle. But I don't actually even know people that are just like right away quitting. Let's say if your monthly expenses are $400 and suddenly your side hustle is creating already the amount that would be covering your monthly expenses, maybe in that case you could consider going into your side hustle 100%. But in a lot of cases, when you're just starting out, it's the best just to be humble and just keep your full-time job and work on your side hustle in the evenings. So that's how it goes. Fellas, that is everything from my personal opinion. Please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and write me in the comments if you want me to cover a specific topic in the future. And see you in the next one. Sayonara. Bye.